Recently, I have come to realize that it doesn't make sense to pursue objective perfection when this hobby thrives on subjectivity. There's a saying that goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yep, it's me, practiphile. Good day, guys. So, yeah, finally, you are now seeing my eyes. You probably know what's gonna happen every time I reveal something. We have the Aful Performer 8S in here. Thank you so much, Hi-Fi-Go, for sending this in for a review. So this is a tour unit. I'm gonna send this one to the next person. So for those of you guys who don't know me, I am Practiphile. I am a self-taught musician. I mainly play the drums. I can also play the guitars. And I once lived in the audiophile heaven, Japan. So when I was there, I was able to try out different stuff, a lot of audio products. I've probably tried almost 1,000 IMs by now, and I curate them in my Google Sheets. I put a list in there depending on their price category. However, it does not make my ear superior to yours because this hobby is very, very subjective. Only trust your ears because ultimately you're going to buy IMs using your own cash. In this review, I'm going to talk about what's in the box, the build quality, the fit. After that, I'm going to talk about the sound and then score the IMs, and then I move on to the comparisons. Feel free to skip ahead. But before I do that, a big disclaimer, I am not paid by Hi-Fi-Go to talk about good things or any other stuff about this unit in here. In fact, I was very vocal about the Performer 5+7 that I reviewed a couple of months or years ago, that the treble was really bad. I am an Aful fan though. Like, most of the sets that I've tried from them were really, really good for my ears. But then again, this hobby is very, very subjective, and I know some reviewers might not actually like the implementation of the Aful, Performer 8S, and that's what makes this hobby very, very unique, because we hear differently and we talk about stuff, like your hearing is different from mine. Imagine if all of us like Harmon, then there's really nothing to review about, right? And that's the good thing about this hobby, and I want to keep it that way, that the way you hear things is also different from how I hear stuff. So let us just move on now to the unboxing here, or not really unboxing, like what's in the box. So you have this box in here with the Aful and a nice open sesame thing. The unit was in here. Pretty simple, actually, I should say. You do have the accessories box in here. I think it included some ear tips and also the case. The case is like this. I think they had this case before with their earbud. Pretty standard case, looks sturdy. It also includes a cleaning tool in here. Some of those plugs, I'm gonna explain the plugs later, and some stickers in here too to cover the vent hole, because this unit in here, it has a passive radiator. The cable is actually nice. I like the cable quality in this. It feels really good. They don't have a lot of memory. They're thick. If you like thick. I do have the 4.4 termination in here. It would have been better if they came with like interchangeable connectors, but no, they don't have that. The faceplate is nice, and as you can see, it has like a Venus, or is it Venus or something, like a planet. It does look really good. At the back, you do have the vents in there that you can cover. I'm not sure if you can see that, but yeah, there's a little hole in there that you can cover using the plugs. Build quality is made of resin, and I don't mind because Aful fit is really, really good. For my ears, they just really are snug, and this is my like standard benchmark for the fit, really, Aful. As a performer, as a musician, I mean, I don't play on stage anymore. If you want very good fit, like near custom, I think Aful. If Aful fit works for you, then you're good to go. All right, so the Aful Performer 8S in here is priced around $300, I think $89. Yeah, $389. It features a 1DD, 6BA, 1 microplanar, and 1 passive radiator in here. So I was very excited when they said they have passive radiators, because for me personally, I don't know if you hear the difference, but as a drummer, if the passive radiator is implemented well, I like how they gave that bass texture and, like overall slam, especially with the SimGot EA1000. I'm gonna talk about that later. But yeah, let's just move on to how this sounds in here. The Performer 8S 8S graphs like this one in here, and let me just overlay the original Performer 8, which was released like, I don't know, like 3 years ago. So as you can see right there, the tonality is, yeah, it is very Aful house sound. And what I say about house sound is Aful house sound usually has a lesser peanut energy there, or like peanut gain, so it doesn't really have a peak around 3K, and then it's just flat in there. Moving on to the treble. For the Performer 8S though, you see there that there is some very good bass elevation in there. It's sub bass over mid bass. There is no tuck, which is, you know, it sounds really natural for me, especially that I'm a drummer. I like how the bass is implemented in here. The vocal gain is not a lot, but it doesn't make sense because I actually find the vocals a little bit forward and very intimate sounding, and it's very close to how the Dawn X sounded when I tried the Dawn X. There's good amount of treble extension in there. They were not peaky when I was testing them. They were just perfect. They were just perfect in my opinion. So again, talking about tonality in here, I would say these are a very balanced sound. Very balanced tonality. It's probably, I just find it's not, yeah, maybe close to a U-shape kind of tonality, but for me, it's just very balanced sound. There is an emphasis in the bass, there's emphasis in the mids, and there's emphasis in the treble. It is not neutral like the Performer 8. So yeah, if you are looking for an upgrade in terms of like neutrality, this might not be the one you're looking for. But if you're looking for an upgrade in terms of tonal balance, then this might be for you. I really like the tonality in this one here, so I'm giving the tonality a 3. Moving on to the bass, it does have a passive radiator, and again, when the passive rate, for me, I'm not sure if you can feel it, but with the SIMGOT EA1000, I scored at 3.5 on the bass because I just feel the air, the hit in every kick drum. It's not close to that kind of implementation, but the texture is there. When you plug the vents, the bass is really, it's not really tight, but it's tighter and well controlled. When the vents are open, it has a gentle softness to it. It doesn't even muddy everything. There's not a lot of elevation in the bass because I actually measured the vents plugged and the vents open, and there seems to be not really a lot of difference, but on listening it feels like it's just tighter when it's off and the treble is a little bit forward. When the vents are open, so the bass is a little more, how do I say, the bass is a little more, it's hard to explain. It's not soft, but it's just more bouncy, and then the treble, it mitigates the treble peaks a little bit better. So both are actually good. I might actually prefer it, maybe the close one, because it really helps when I'm practicing drums, catching those kick drums. There are so many songs that I was so surprised about. One was the do you know the Kalohi Kai's Lover Girl? The kick drum, the bass was just very textured in that. I really like how they implemented that. Sex and Candy by Maroon 5, the bass also, the kick drum was also very realistic in decay. Dude, the list just goes on. What was it again? Undefeated by Incubus also, like, dude, like, it's hard to explain. I really like the bass implementation in this, so bass for this, I'm giving it a 3. Mids, again, as I've said, it doesn't make sense because the peak, it doesn't really have like that 3K peak, and the vocals just sounds really nice for me. Like, I know some reviewers, they complain about the honk and it's like that 800 hertz in there. I don't seem to notice that honkiness in there, and maybe it's just the bends in my ears or whatever, or I just probably don't know the correct tonality. But instruments sounded okay. They were great for me. The snare sounded okay when I was playing drums. Instruments sounded okay. Vocals were really nice for me. They have a very good space on the vocals and the instruments, that the separation was really good. The layering in the track Treasure by Bruno Mars, dude, the vocal layering was, I didn't know they had like 6 voicings in there, 6 or 5 voicings. That's just crazy. The vocal layering on this one here is very noticeable. Again, even if those stuff, they were present in that recording, it's just that the Performer 8S does layering very good, that you could actually pick out those, and I didn't even know they existed before, which was an eye-opener or an ear-opener. So mids on this, I'm giving it a 3. For the treble, there's a little bit of like an elevation there around maybe past 10K, but then again, they are not narrow and they are not sharp. It's just enough to complement the overall signature. Incubus, Are You In? Those intros pros with their hitting the cymbals. The cymbals sounded correct. They're very crisp and they're not airy per se, but they're just correct sounding with very good nuance and very good details. For the treble on this, I'm giving it a 3. And lastly, for the technicalities, what I like about this set is that immersion factor. When you listen to it, I just immerse in my music. Like, it's just hard to explain. I'm just in that zone and I just listen to the music and I feel like I'm in that space with the musicians. It's hard to explain. I just like, so the imaging is on point, detail retrieval, I mean, again, yeah, they're great. There's a lot of details in the bass, not just in the overall treble implementation, but also across the frequency. So for the technicalities in this, I'm giving a 3, and yeah, it is a perfect score for me. I think this is the 3rd perfect scored IEM in my ranking list. So yeah, very, very solid IEM. Talking about when playing drums, I did not, again, Aful fit is very, very good. Headbanging was not a problem. The snares, the toms, the kick drum sounded okay. The cymbals were not that forward. They just have enough presence in the mix. They're not too forward, they're not too recessed, and they were not peaky as well. The bass, the kick drums though, especially the kick drums, they don't really have that snappy attack, but they have that reverberation in them that I could not find in any other earphone, and that's what I like about this set in here. If you are a musician, any musician, if you play the guitar, bass, and drums, I think this is the one to check out. Check this out, and you know, like, maybe other reviews, check other reviews, but dude, like, for music, this is a banger. I mean, like, for you know, playing on stage, this I've never played on stage for quite some time, but I can tell this one is gonna be a very, very good pair of earphones on stage. All right, let us just move on to the comparisons in here. So I did a little bit of comparison there with the Performer 8. So let me just show you the graph in here. So as you can see there, the Performer 8, the original Performer 8 is leaner. I just prefer the Performer 8S. It is, again, it is an upgrade in terms of the tonality. If you still prefer that kind of like neutral approach, then the Performer 8 is for you, but the 8S is just more balanced in my opinion. And comparing it to the other Aful stuff, I actually think this is an upgrade to the Explorer. And what I mean by that is the Explorer looks like this. And I think in my video, I mentioned that if you're a musician and if you're doing covers, the Explorer is a very good, like, if you're bassist, it is a very good IM for that. And I feel like the Performer 8S carries that DNA, wherein like it is very, very suited for musicians. A lot of people they don't like the overall treble implementation of the Performer Aful Explorer, but for me, I didn't mind that. So if you're looking for an upgrade on the Explorer and you want more treble, then this is it. Like, this is it. Aful Performer 8S. With their other stuff, the Performer 5+2 or 5+7, you know what my opinions on that. I just find the treble implementation to be quite unnatural, and I'd pick the 8S all day, any day, and I'd pay probably extra for that. In comparison to their flagship, the Dawn X, the Dawn X is a little bit different because it has a bone conduction and it has ESTs. But this is like a fraction of a price. And I would say that I actually enjoyed the Performer 8S more than the Dawn X. What I mean by that is, of course, when I review stuff, I think about like how much they cost and how much you'll have to pay. The Dawn X sounds good. I ranked it S, but dude, the Performer 8S, I ranked it perfect for a reason. I just really like the immersion factor of the Performer 8S. Although objectively, the Dawn X might actually sound better. It has more dynamics, the bass has more texture, the treble has more nuance, but the Performer 8S for $300, $389, it's not so far ahead. All right, and another thing that I want to compare it to, because again, these are priced around the $251 to $499 category. What does make sense in here? It does give me kind of like the Luna vibes right there. So as you can see, although the Luna does have a more mid-bass emphasis in there and a little bit more forward in the treble implementation, but again, I'd pick the Performer 8S in here because it has an immersion, more 3D, and just and you can also choose how the bass will be implemented if you close the band or open them. Next one would be the SA6 Mark II, the Duno SA6 Mark II, because it doesn't have like a lot of peanut gain in there. So as you can see, it kind of like follows the same curve in there. The Duno SA6 Mark II will be peaky in the treble and more unnatural. I just prefer the Performer 8S in here. If you want the switches for like more bass, then maybe you can pick the Duno SA6 Mark II. If you're also older and you feel like you're not sensitive to past 10K peaks, then you can pick the Duno SA6 Mark II. But if you're sensitive to treble, then you're safer with the Aful Performer 8S. And the last one is the Duno 242 in here, right there. So as you can see, actually very, very close in tonality there. But then again, the Aful Performer 8S has the immersion. How many times do I have to say immersion? It is very, very good. But again, this is all HRTF, right? Subjectivity. You know, the Aful Performer 8S might not actually give you that kind of experience, but the Duno 242 does sound leaner in comparison, and then the Performer 8S has more dynamics. It's more engaging. It's just better overall. So yeah, the Performer 8S really changed the way I see stuff, because you know that I like science and I like to measure stuff and I like objectivity, but I also mix it with my subjective impressions. But the Performer 8S proved me wrong about graphing, like about graphs overall, because as you can see in here, there's like even my target, I put in there a peak for a reason, because I like forward sounding vocals. But then the Performer 8S does not even have that gain, and it sounds just as natural as my target. And so for me, it really doesn't make sense to follow objective perfection if this hobby thrives in subjectivity. Yeah, I guess that is it for my review on the Aful Performer 8S, guys. Again, I'm not a shill. I was very vocal about some Aful products that I didn't like. And dude, like, again, some people might, like, you've seen reviews of other reviewers, they might not like it, and this is just me. This is not a purchase advice. This is me telling you my experience as a drummer, as a musician, about how I feel about the Performer 8S. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like my video, consider liking, subscribing. See you next time. Have a good day. Bye for now.